आगे के यहाँ पर देखिए नेशनल क्रश। मैम यहाँ पे भी प्लीज। मैडम यहाँ देखिए।
दादा एक सेकंड स्टार्ट करते हैं 1920
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for being here today, for coming out for the launch of Dyna's first PETA campaign. Really, thank you. And a special thanks to the Yoga Studio for giving us this wonderful venue for the launch. We all know Dyna for her modeling and acting, but today we'll find a little bit more about her work for animals. So, without much delay, we would like to show you a small AV. Can we have the AV, please?
Hi, this is Diana Penty for PETA India to highlight the importance.
Round of applause.
She has a better smile.
This kid, no?
Yeah, she's smiling.
She was totally enjoying the show. Thank you, Dinah. I would like to now request you to please unveil the campaign for us.
माइक रख दो, माइक रख दो। माइक ले, शुभम माइक ले। पीछे प्लीज। मैडम। होल्ड। ये हाँ, कभी आना। हाँ, सामने देखिए। डायना जी यहाँ पर देखिए। सेंटर देखिए। मैडम। डायना जी यहाँ पर लेफ्ट में पहले सेंटर देखिए बाद में आजू बाजू। डायना जी यहाँ पे यहाँ पर देखिए डायना। Look here.
This beautiful ad was shot by ace photographer Tejas Nerurkar, and the styling was done by Namita Alexander and hair and makeup by Shraddha Mishra. So we are grateful to all of them for donating their time and services for PETA and to Dyna, of course, and to this cute doggo over here, Biscuit, who's up for adoption at World for All. There are many dogs and cats who are up for adoption at World for All. So please, if you know anyone who is interested in adopting a cat or a dog, please guide them to World for All. And please sign this.
मैडम इसी बात उधर हाँ यहाँ फेस दिख नहीं रहा आपका।
Thank you so much. Dyna, would you please say a few words about this campaign and about your association with PETA?
I could not be happy about this campaign because this is a cause that I really genuinely feel for. I think most of you might already be aware that I have an indie dog at home. Her name is Victoria, but we lovingly call her Vicky. What you probably are not so aware of is that while Vicky lives inside with us, we also have two other indies. They kind of in and out between being inside and outside the house, but they live in our compound and we look after them. So we have 3 indies, dogs, and we have 10 rescue cats. So that's one big huge khandan of cats and dogs. But I would say that it's probably the best part of my day and life, and just to be surrounded by these animals who are an absolute delight. Coming back home to their smiling faces and their wagging tails is the best feeling in the world. So for me, this is just, to be a part of this campaign is really, really special because I genuinely believe in adopting and not shopping. There's so many cats and dogs on the street and in local shelters that need loving homes. So I'd like to take this opportunity to say that if there's anybody out there that has the time, the space, the patience, the resources, and most importantly, a lot of love to give and share, I would suggest you consider adopting from your local shelter or from the streets, because you can give an animal a chance at a new life. and kind of change their destiny in a way. So, and also I'd like to say there's a lot of misconceptions about indie dogs, the dogs on the street, cats. People are afraid of them for some reason. They think they're a little temperamental, but I'd say from experience that that's not really true. They're just like other dogs. They just need to be socialized maybe a little bit, and if there's a dog that's with you from the time they're very, very young, they will grow into a family environment and understand humans more, and they're actually very, very loving. I'd say they're extremely intelligent, more intelligent than some thoroughbred dogs, and they're very hardy and very resilient. So while a lot of my friends have thoroughbred dogs that are visiting the vet every few weeks or months, I feel like Indies just don't need, they're so low maintenance. They don't need a lot to survive. And that's also a great plus point, with our busy lives and schedules and stuff. They're kind of just so hardy, they're okay on their own. So it's really a great addition to the family. And that's one misconception that I think they're very, very loving, they're extremely intelligent, and they will make your life wholesome.
The post about Vicky. So if you could share a few experiences, how it has been like, after adopting Vicky.
Like I said, she's my happy space. So whenever I'm low, feeling not so great, or I've had a really long, tiring day, and I sometimes just can't wait to get back home, just to give her a big tight hug. Also, although she hates hugs, but it's torture for her. She hates being hugged. And she'll she'll act like she's being punished and it's the worst part of her day, but I will still go and do it. And it's such a good feeling. She has other ways of expressing her love, but mine is by hugging her, so whether she likes it or not, she has to put up with me. But yeah, she's honestly she has so much, she's so special and so highly intelligent. It's like a human being. Like I talk to her like she's my sibling, and I think she thinks that I'm her sibling.
They do understand everything.
So she bullies me, and she's got a personality of her own, and she makes it very clear what she's feeling or thinking, and we allow her that space. She's not one of those like sit, stand, roll over, like trained. She's very trained. She listens to everything, but we don't want her to feel that we want her to be her own self and person, and have her personality shine through. So we allow her to express herself and respect her boundaries. So if she's not having a good day and she doesn't want to be touched or handled or whatever, and she kind of lets us know that we leave her alone.
And of course, they do have their own personalities. You have to let them be.
Yeah. So that's
sweet. That's sweet. And just one last question, Dinah. Now it's summer, and it's so hot. So there are so many animals on the street, and we get a lot of cases. Get about animals falling on streets or getting dehydrated. If you could tell us what one can do to help animals during summertime.
It's tough to help every single animal because there's so many of them on the street. But if you have a few animals in your local animal that you look out for, feed them or whatever it is, it would be nice to leave bowls of water out for them. And if possible, allow them to, at least in the hot summer months, allow them to kind of seek shelter in maybe the common, shaded area as opposed to being...
Or just let them inside your building.
Yeah, the entry of the building. I'm not saying let them into your house, obviously, but yeah.
The compound, building compound.
Just some kind of temporary shelter for them, at least in the day, when the sun is beating hard. So I think maybe just a few things like that. Of
course, a bowl of water.
A bowl of water.
Everyone could keep a bowl of water outside.
And if you feel, we actually currently have a cat that's outside of our gate, little kitten actually, and noticed that a week ago that she was behaving very odd and looked like she was dehydrated and kind of very dull and lethargic. So we sent her to the vet, and yeah, she was very dehydrated because I had a bit of a heat stroke and I think some viral or something. So we're kind of just taking care of her temporarily outside until she's fit enough to be released back outside into the street. So whatever you can do, maybe send them to the vet or call a local shelter, call an organization like PETA, who can help if you can't do it yourself. which is understandable. Not everyone can do it themselves, but I'm sure if they observe something like that, they can at least seek help elsewhere.
That's a lovely message and great tips. Thank you so much. Any other questions from anyone?
Arun.
Since we are short on time, we request everyone to keep the questions to this particular campaign. If you could. No questions?
Yeah, photo.
Photo? Okay, cool. Thank you.
झाला थोड़ा पीछे आना
हमें और